Dr. Alan Walker was a renowned scientist who had dedicated his entire life to developing a time machine. His goal was to travel through time and study important historical events in person. After years of hard work and dedication, Dr. Walker finally succeeded in creating a working time machine. On a cold winter night, Dr. Walker and his team of researchers gathered in the lab to test the machine. They activated the time machine and stepped inside, eager to witness history unfold before their very eyes. The machine started to hum and glow, and suddenly, they were transported to the past. As they emerged from the time machine, they found themselves in a dark and eerie forest. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and they could hear strange whispers and footsteps all around them. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared in the distance, beckoning them to follow. Dr. Walker, eager to explore this new world, set off towards the figure, with his team following close behind. The shadowy figure led them deeper and deeper into the forest until they came upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an old, abandoned mansion, its windows boarded up and its walls covered in vines. Dr. Walker and his team cautiously approached the mansion, feeling a sense of dread wash over them. As they entered the mansion, they discovered that it was filled with dark, ominous corridors and shadowy rooms. They could hear strange noises coming from the walls and could feel eyes watching them from the darkness. As they explored the mansion, they stumbled upon a room that was filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. Dr. Walker, excited to learn more about the past, eagerly began to read through the books. However, as he delved deeper into the texts, he realized that they were not just historical accounts, but rather dark and forbidden spells and incantations. Dr. Walker was horrified, realizing that he and his team had been lured into a trap. The shadowy figure they had followed was not a guide, but rather a monster that preyed upon those who were foolish enough to travel through time. The monster had brought them to this cursed mansion, hoping to feed on their fear and terror. Suddenly, the doors of the mansion slammed shut, trapping Dr. Walker and his team inside. The monster began to emerge from the darkness, its eyes glowing with hunger and malice. Dr. Walker knew that they were in grave danger and that they needed to find a way out before it was too late. As they frantically searched for an escape, they stumbled upon a secret laboratory hidden deep within the mansion. The laboratory was filled with strange and terrifying experiments, including a device that Dr. Walker recognized as a portal to the present. He realized that they could use the device to escape the cursed mansion and return to their own time. However, as they activated the portal, the monster appeared once again, its jaws gaping wide. Dr. Walker knew that he had only one chance to stop the monster from following them through the portal. With all of his might, he channeled the power of the forbidden spells he had discovered earlier and cast a powerful incantation, sealing the monster within the cursed mansion forever. As Dr. Walker and his team stepped through the portal and returned to the present, they were exhausted and traumatized by their harrowing experience. However, they knew that they had made a grave mistake by meddling with time and venturing into the unknown. Dr. Walker destroyed the time machine, vowing never to mess with the fabric of time again. However, he knew that the memory of the cursed mansion and the monster that haunted him would never leave him. In the weeks that followed, Dr. Walker struggled to come to terms with what had happened, plagued by nightmares of the monster and the cursed mansion. One night, as he was working late in his lab, he heard a strange noise coming from the corner of the room. As he approached the source of the noise, he was shocked to discover the portal device from the cursed mansion, lying on a table. Dr. Walker was horrified. How could this be? He had destroyed the time machine, and there was no way that the cursed mansion or the monster could have followed him back to the present. But as he examined the device, he realized that it had been tampered with. Someone had accessed the device and altered its settings, allowing it to connect with another portal in a different time and place. Dr. Walker knew that he had been played, that the monster had tricked him into destroying his own time machine and returning to the present, where it could continue to terrorize and prey upon him. In that moment, Dr. Walker realized that he had been the monster's pawn all along, a victim of its insidious plot to escape from the cursed mansion and into the present. And with that realization, Dr. Walker knew that he was doomed. For the monster had followed him back to the present, and it would stop at nothing to exact its revenge on the man who had trapped it within the cursed mansion for all eternity. Thank you for listening to this bedtime story, and remember, if you struggle with falling or staying asleep at night, click on the first link in the description for the ultimate solution to your problem. Now, choose one of these two videos and continue on our journey in the world of bedtime stories.